Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the second lesson of my mini course EXOSTYLE. Here is my Instagram. You can follow me for more inspirational dancing videos and some useful tips and tutorials. Just scan the code and don't forget to push the subscribe button. In the previous lesson we covered the first step, fundamentals. Today we will go deeper into transitions, how to create a seamless, beautiful flow. And in the next lessons we will also cover 3 more steps: musicality, upgrades and creation. And we'll also discuss how to continue developing your own style after you go through all of these steps. And in the end, as promised, I will tell you more about my full course, EXOBASE. So let's get started. Okay guys, so this is the practical part number 2. On this lesson, we are going to work on the transitions. I will teach you how to create flow. Okay, so in the previous class, we've learned how to work with the basic elements, and now we are going to put them together and make this very smooth transitions. How important is that? Yeah, you know, when you watch someone dancing and you say, wow, this looks effortless, she's just flying, just floating in the air. How does it work? Yeah, and today I am going to teach you how it works. All right, so we are going to learn a simple sequence. Yeah, and we are going to focus on the transitions in this sequence. So this is not a choreography made for the music. No, this is just a sequence of movements. And the most important part of it is to put them together and learn how to shift your weight. All right? So we are going to start behind the pole, and for your convenience, we mirror this video. Okay, so I am your reflection. This is right, and this is left. And like this, it will be easier for you to understand where we're going. Okay, this is right hand, this is left hand. Okay, so we are standing behind the pole, and the first what I want you to feel, remember in the beginning of the previous class we were just moving our hips, so we're going to do the same here, and we also going to use our head. So look, when I go with my hip to the right, I also bring my head and shoulder to the right. So everything is on the right, yeah, and then everything is on the left. And look, I am pointing my toes, I don't stand on my heels. When I do this, yeah, boom, 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 boom. I point both of my feet and shift my weight to the right and my head to the right, my weight and head to the left. Boom. Yeah, and now I also want you to draw a figure 8 with your head. Yeah, so when I go to the right, I go down with my right ear, and then I kind of go a little backwards. Yeah, and then I'm going to go with the left ear and the left hip. Boom. And backwards. Boom. And backwards. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is the simple way, yeah, very simple exercise to coordinate your legs, yeah, your hips and your head. Okay? So this is the beginning move. We only do right and left. Yeah, so we go with our hips. Yeah, and you see when I go to the right hip, I kind of bend my left knee a little more, and then I go to the left hip and I bend my right leg a little more, and then I'm going to fully put my right heel down
So from this shape, yeah, I'm going to move to the right leg, tick, tick, yeah, and I'm going to lift the left leg. So it will be right, left, again right, yeah, right, left, right, and when I do right, I can put my heel down and I'm going to turn to the right side, changing my hands, and my leg and body are going to do a wave. Yeah, so I do a simple wave, rounding my body, yeah, fully from the head, chest, belly, yeah, and I go down and bring my leg backwards, and then I open like my head and my leg, and I raise up. And when I do this, I actually put my hand to the hip, yeah, so I can push, I can use it for my weight, it's totally fine. Boom, this is how the move is going to look, yeah, so I put the heel down, start pushing with my hand, dive down, bring the leg backwards, open my chest, the chin goes up, open the chest, open the lower back. Softly bend the leg, not a big bend, just a little bit. And then from this shape, I start to go up from the shoulders and the knee goes down. Yeah, so I never fully bend my knee. Yeah, I bend just a little. Yeah, and only when I fully raise up, yeah, it goes more bent, and I finish fully standing on my right leg. And so look, when we put it together, yeah, because as I told you in this class, the most important part is how we put them together. So it's right, left, yeah, so from the left, I change my hands, and I go to the right, boom, yeah, again with my head, into that wave. So this is the most important part. 1, 2, changing the hands, going with your head, going with the heel down, hold, arch, and up. Fully extending your knee in the end and pushing that hip out. So as you remember from the previous class, there's no weight in between, and then I step awkwardly like this, yeah? But my weight is on the right hip, so I can shift my weight and do a step with the hips as we did in the previous class. From this step, I'm going to do a turn. I'm going to slide my right leg, so the weight is going to be on the left leg, and I swing my right arm, going to take the pole and turn on the left leg and land kind of, well, the pole ends up being behind of your body, yeah, and we go in the sit, yeah, so I start fully standing, yeah, I turn left, slide the right leg around, yeah, I can push with the left hand to help, and in the process I softly bend, yeah, and this is interesting, yeah, so I don't turn and then bend, yeah, but I start on straight leg and then gently bend, yeah, so this is a very nice transition as well, because we start having our weight fully on the leg, okay? Yeah, so now pay attention. The weight shift is the key of this class. So I start having my weight fully on the leg, And then when I turn, it's still on the leg here. And from this moment, when I take the pole, the second half of the turn, what happens? I'm not fully on my legs anymore, but look, I start falling to the pole, so I bend my knees, and I fall here. So from the leg, I fall, and now I'm hanging on my arm, you see? I'm hanging. Yeah, so you don't need to take off your hand, it was just for you to see. Yeah, so from here, I start hanging. Boom, and here, in this shape, I am on my hand, and if you need help, you can also use another hand. And the lower you go here, yeah, the nicer it's going to look. So, we go with our weight to the right, to the left, again to the right, fully hip out, so this hip is down, and then we step and the weight goes to the left leg, yeah, we swing and we turn, and now the weight goes, whoom, to the arm, and we turn. And now, a little bit about the shapes here. Yeah, I already told you about this. Yeah, so here we really open everything. We want a really nice open line, and we go hip and head, and then we change and we go in, we round, then we arch, fully on the hip, step, but I open my chest, and here I twist. You see a very nice shape here. Hips are open, chest is open, reaching with my arm, showing a nice line here. And then when I start turning, yeah, what happens? Here, I want to arch. Yeah, when I start turning, I don't just bend like this, having my heels down, having my back flat, yeah, like a grandma. Yeah, I want to be very nice, very open everywhere. So when I start turning, boom, I have a very nice shape here. The more also you open, you engage your shoulder blades to open your chest, the stronger position your shoulder will have, the easier it will be for you to catch your weight here, okay? So from this shape, also make sure you're still arching your lower back, and we are going to drop to the butterfly. So from this shape, also the lower you are, the easier it will be for you to do the butterfly. So we are going to open our left leg, and you see I'm using the platform. Okay, so I don't turn my leg like this, yeah, and like fully lifting and putting it there. No, I incline it, look, using the platform, engaging my ankle, and then gently putting the knee down. Look where my shoulders end up. This is very important, guys, okay? Usually when we do these kind of transitions, why it feels awkward and the flow breaks? Because usually people try to put the leg, not changing anything in shoulders and arms, and like, where is your weight? Yeah, so your body stays in the same place and you want to change your legs. Instead, what you need to be doing is to go in a circle, in a spiral. Your body travels from here to there. Yeah, so look at my head and shoulders. I'm here, yeah, on this side of the pole, and when I start opening my leg, you see what happens with my body? I am going into this diagonal, so I end up on the other side of the pole. So I don't need to change the position of my leg, I just need to incline. Yeah, so I'm going down, I'm opening. And if you think about putting these two moves together, it's a very nice spiral. Yeah, so we start here, we do this turn, bending our legs. So from the legs, we move to the arm, warm, and I continue with my body going that direction, opening. Do you see? I try to put these moves together and smoothly in a spiral go to this side. Okay? And just add 2 more moves and we will repeat. And so from here, I end up being on the left knee and all my body is on the left side. I want to keep my shoulder open. Okay, I don't want to land like this, twisting my shoulder in. I want to be laying with my shoulder blades on the pole, opening, yeah, my shoulder, having everything open, very nice line here. And I can step with the right leg, and then I push with the bottom hand, step with the left leg, and here I want to go up with the wave from the hips. I will explain now. If that will feel too hard, yeah, we can go up from the hips backwards. Yeah, this will be a little bit easier. So look, when we go up in a wave like this, what is essential? That we need to shift our weight forwards, okay? This is not an easy move, okay? But some of the moves here are easier, some of the moves here are a little harder, yeah, but that's how I'm trying to make it interesting for different level of students. So, from this shape, yeah, we land here in a diamond shape, having our right hand up, standing on the left knee. Yeah, if you step with your legs further away from the pole, the movement will be harder for you. If you step with one leg, yeah, with the right leg closer, it will be a little bit easier. So probably you can just start a little closer here. The left leg can go anywhere. Yeah, don't put them close to each other. That will make the movements really hard. Instead, you want to have them pretty like widely open. And then I start pushing my hips up, and look what happens. I push my knees forwards as well. That inclines my toes. You see my platforms. Instead of going like this, yeah, I go to the front. Very nice exercise for your toes as well. And then you need to start pulling up hard with your shoulder and shoulder blades. Here, yeah. I lift my hips up so it feels like all the work happens here in my legs and hips. They work, that's true, but the hardest part happens in your shoulder, yeah, here. So that's why I say if you feel like this is a little bit too much at the moment, I will give you some other variations that you can make it even if you are a beginner. Yeah, so if you have tried this move before, if you like upper, beginner or intermediate, if you tried this move before but it didn't work beautifully yet, yeah, let me give you some advices here. So besides what I told you already about bringing your hips forward, let's figure out what your body is doing. And one of the best ways of learning a powerful movement where you need your muscles is actually to go down. Yeah, so here we go up, we need to pull up. Instead, let's try to go down. So we're gonna position our legs the same way. Yeah, it doesn't matter at the moment where you're facing. Yeah, I'm just showing like this so you can see the angle. And we don't need our hand very high because we remember when we were going up, the hand was pretty low. So we need to start going down and feel what our muscles are doing. So I'm going to open. Yeah, first I'm going with my head and my back fully engaged. Remember, shoulders, diaphragm, lower back, everything. Yeah, boom. And so from my legs, having my weight fully on my legs, I want to start going backwards and come back. You see? So I'm on my legs and on my arm. On my legs, on my arm. If I take off my arm now, I'm going to pull. Yeah, so this is what you need to understand. And now you try to do the same shift, but in the arch. So you arch and you catch the pole and then try to come back. So from here, push your hips forward, engage your shoulder blades, yeah, engage your chest a lot, and up. Again, down, and up. So only do this part on the top to feel what your shoulder is doing, how your body is feeling, and make sure you are pointing your toes as much as possible when you do it. Okay? I know in the beginning it feels like it's just too hard. Yeah, it's okay if you're a very beginner and you flex your feet sometimes, it's fine. The more advanced you get, the more you guys need to control your feet. And it's going to look much nicer, and you will see how much it helps you to shift your weight. Yeah, because it allows you to literally incline your body forwards. Yeah, if I'm here, my weight is not in the same place than when I point, okay? So, and you try to go a little lower, yeah, so you go here, yeah, and then up, and then fully hips down, and then up. And actually, the more momentum you use here, the more you like swing your hips to the front, starting this impulse going into reverse wave, the easier it is to raise up. Yeah, so you start that swing with your hips, then you use the momentum, and then you start engaging your arm to pull up. Okay? But if you feel like at the moment this is just beyond your abilities, your physical abilities, you're a very beginner, or maybe you're injured and you feel like it's definitely too much for your shoulders, yeah, you can do step, and instead of going with your hips to the front, you're going to go with your hips to the back, yeah, so you can bring, you also will need to pull up a little to bring your shoulders to the front, your chest to the front, and then you lift your hips first, and then you lift your shoulders up. Okay, so this is a variation if you feel like it's too much. Another version, if you are also like a beginner and you want to try it, but maybe even you do it without heels right now, you can do it in socks, it's fine as well. Yeah, so we're gonna, for example, you can do all this transition having your left hand on the pole. Yeah, so you can, I have just microphone right here. I hope you guys will not hear the with my hand. Yeah, so you can use your hand here. You can do the steps, and you can use your hand here as well. But you will have to take it off in the end. So of course, when we have our hands here, it looks smaller because instead of opening this arm, opening our chest and shoulder, we're holding, and it doesn't look that big. But if you are doing your first steps, yeah, if this is your first class or one of the first classes, it's totally fine to use your left hand. Yeah, so you build your strength, and then later you try to do it on one arm. And believe me, you will definitely build your strength. So let's put this little thing together. Yeah, we are standing behind the pole. We start to the right. Hip and head. Womb and to the back. Now with left hip and left ear. Womb. Again to the right. Right hand goes to the knee. Heel goes down. Round. Leg up and arch. Raise up. Hips are fully on the right. Left step. Shift your weight to the left. Swing. Show a nice line here in your hip, your arm. Just start turning. Bend. Point, please. Open everything. And the lower you go, the easier. Yeah, you can catch yourself here and help here. Use the platform. Open. And your body follows. The rotation goes to the left. Then you go with right leg, left leg, yeah, and close the hips, shift your knees to the front. use the momentum here, swing, pull up, arch, and finish up with the head. Okay, let's do now the version easier with the hand. Okay, I will for a second move the microphone here. Yeah, so maybe it will be better for the hand. So we go right head and hip, left head and hip, right hand to the knee, head, leg and wave, right hip out, left step, left hip, extending my way to the left, take, turn, keep falling backwards, sliding, open. You see, I hold the hand, I do step, step, push, use both hands, and in the end, I take off the hand. Okay? Now, we're gonna do one more time, a little bit smoother. Yeah, and I want you to see that nice flow that we create from these transitions, because look, everything is connected. Okay, so I go right, left, right, step, send the weight, turn, open, step, step, up. You see, so it is, okay, it was a little bit maybe fast for you and you're like, what just happened? Yes, I know, but I am trying to show you that from very simple moves, by smoothly putting them together, we learn creating this flow. Yeah, let's slow down a little again. Yeah, so I really want you to feel it. Hip, hip, and with the head. Boom, boom, and starting with the right, changing, turning, wave. Yeah, and the step, hips on the right, hips on the left, push with the left hand to make this transition smoother. Yeah, I don't need, if I go faster, yeah, I can just turn like this, but when we go slow, we don't have the momentum, so we can use the hand to push to have a nicer, smoother weight shift, yeah, here. And I engage my chest, and from here, I don't just bend on flex foot, but here I point. Keep turning and sliding down, and you see I'm like turning away from my head and shoulder and knee through the platform. Gently, my weight is going here. Yeah, and then I keep my back open. I don't allow this to happen. I want to have a nice line, and also I want to engage my chest, my shoulder blades to the maximum. Step, not like this as well, yeah, but I open my chest, arch my lower back, so I show my beautiful arch in the lower back. Step, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, never, yes. Step, okay? And here, if you feel that it's too hard, you send your weight forwards. You can even use your hand here and send your hips backwards. Yeah, so you just swing and lift yourself up. Okay? Now, one more time. And we try, I want you to focus. Okay, let's just focus on this transition because it's really nice. Yeah, if you will understand that all this transition, we kind of start from the left ear. Yeah, so I go, I turn here, and I keep falling. Yeah, so all this turn, seat, butterfly, and step, yeah, I'm like, turn around myself, and also in diagonal to that side of the pole. Okay? So we do right, left, right, step, hip, turn, down, knee, step, step, and up. Okay, so let's add on a little. Now from here, we are going to shift our weight to the right. This, you are in the middle and you're like, I can't shift my weight anywhere. I'm just so grounded here, I have no idea what to do. You can bend, yeah? So if you feel like you can't shift your weight anywhere, bend your knee. That will allow you quickly shift your weight. Again, when we bend our knee, if it's not the hard style, we cannot flex. We need to point, yeah? And then you're like, what do I do from here? You start turning. Yeah, so you're still balancing here. If I start turning on my straight legs, I'm blocked. But if I bend first and then I turn, I easily use my hips. I can catch the pole, yeah, and I can continue. If, for example, you do the same turn, but you closer to the pole, yeah, this leg is closer, you will not feel any problem. You will just shift your hips to the right, yeah, and easily turn here. Yeah, so it really depends on how you did the previous transition, and because I land pretty far from the pole and like my legs are very open, I will most likely need to bend, yeah. But another thing, you can use the momentum to send your weight, even if you widen far, yeah, and you don't go very slow, but you kind of push the hips and whoop, slide. Yeah, this is also an option. And this is so important. These little things are so important to understand, because there's so many moments when you're like doing some very beautiful choreo, and in between you're always like, ugh. Yeah, like doing something awkward, clumsy, yeah. I know, because this is how I used to look before, yeah. And so instead, you can either push the hips or bend your knee and then turn, depending on how you land. But what we're gonna do next, we will add another period. It's going to feel very similar to what we did. We're gonna turn, we're gonna do butterfly and a step. Yeah, so you already did it, and I'm repeating this move, but we are going to the different direction, and we're gonna end up in the armpit. Yeah, so just look how similar these moves are. Yeah, so I'm going to shift my weight to the right leg. I'm going to turn and catch the pole with the left hand, and I want to catch the pole with my left armpit. So I start leaning on it. I literally fall here when I turn. Yeah, and because I want to also end up in a butterfly, I will bend the leg. That's why I told you you can bend straight away from here, or you can start on the straight leg and start bending it here. Yeah, catch, turn, 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 boom, end up in the armpit. Yeah, open your legs, again butterfly, again the same platform. Again the knee, and you see my body goes in a circle. And again we're going to step here. Yeah, so very similar but different direction, and we end up in the armpit. From here we start turning, and the left hand goes underneath. Yeah, we don't go above, we go below. Bend, fall to the armpit. Remember that we need to engage our back. We're not hanging like this. We arch everywhere. Use the platform. Look at the platform. I don't change my leg. I just open. Allow my knee to fall by spinning around the pole and step, sliding the left leg. Now from this shape, we're not going to do another step to go up, even though we could. Yeah, but what we're going to do, we're going to do another slide with the right leg. So the left leg I will open, again the same like we did our butterfly, so using the platform. Yeah, and for that, we should not allow our ankle to relax. We need to hold it. The right leg is going to slide. I will lift, yeah, pull up hard on my arms, sliding the right leg, and then I'm going to slide it through the floor around. That will turn my body, and I will end up sitting behind the pole. Okay, I will break down this move a little. So we are doing in the same time a slide, a butterfly, and a pull up. Okay, so okay, this goes already a little more advanced, but because I only have this one lesson to show you as much as I can, yeah, so I am doing something very simple and then something harder again, so you can see lots of, you know, levels and possibilities that we have here. So from this butterfly, we are on the left armpit, right hand is on the top. Yeah, we open the right leg through the platform, falling and opening. You see, I'm like opening my chest, opening my back, and step. And now if I only move my legs, it will be very heavy and I will get stuck. I need to start pulling up, you see, and what I do, I kind of use my ankle a little to lift my knee. I use my muscles here, and it allows me to slide this leg. Here I can do a butterfly, again to gently through the platform, put my knee down, and then I need to start shifting my weight around the pole. For that, I use a swing of my right leg. I also pull with my arms because my shoulders are behind the pole and I need to bring them in a circle. Yeah, so I pull up a lot. And I also use my head to kind of do this move, circle. Because the more I bring my shoulders away from the pole, the more I do swing, you know? So if I'm here, you know, it doesn't create any momentum, but if I do this, it creates the momentum. You see, I start falling. Yeah, so the more you bring your shoulders away or your head, the more you help to create the momentum. Yeah, and that's how combining all these moves together. Yeah, okay, so from here, from the left armpit, open the right knee, slide the left leg, and now I'm going to pull up using the platform, open the leg and slide the right leg around, and from the left ear I go to the left. Yeah, and now I keep sliding, keep my head down, bend, whoo, and end up behind the pole. Okay, so you see when we put all these moves together, it ended up being a very nice and big transition. So let's put it together from here. Yeah, so we raise up from the base and we start turning to the right side on the right leg. Yeah, so either bending it straight away or shifting the hips here if you're not very wide apart with your legs. Yeah, catching, bending, engaging everything, very nice lines. Going down, continue, open the leg gently through the platform to the knee and step, and then pull up the hips. And here we can also, if you're a little more advanced, we can pull up and open our chest and belly, hips up. Woo! Here, like you want to do a bridge through the platform to the knee. Your ear goes to the left. If you want, you can use your hand on the floor. Big slide behind the pole, bend the leg, circling your shoulders, woo, finishing up behind the pole. very big circle using all your body. Okay, so if we go a little faster, it's going to look like this. Yeah, so I turn right on the right leg to the left armpit and step with the left leg, and then pull up, slide, circle. So lots of small moves. I make one transition down, one transition around. So for my brain, it is 2 moves. And now let me tell you a little bit how important as well it is to understand everything I say now, how to do the transitions. Because I remember when I started, it was very difficult for me to memorize choreographies. Yeah, I would take lots of classes and I would think, like, it's 30 different movements and I just have no idea how to memorize them. And also, like, I couldn't create flow because I was doing 30 different moves and it looked like this. Yeah, and also I just couldn't remember what's next because for the brain it was like so many elements, how to memorize it. But when you start understanding the logic of it, of these transitions, these 5 moves become one transition. Another 4 moves become one transition. Another 6 moves become one transition. And so for your brain, it's not anymore. It's like much slower and also smoother because these 5 moves become one. Yeah, and so that's how you start quicker memorizing choreographies. But on the other hand, okay, if you're now like, okay, I already can do this, these transitions are not hard for me, I'm okay. But let me tell you this, do you have another problem? For example, you understand the transition, but it doesn't look that big, doesn't look that smooth, and also, if you start doing this transition, you cannot change it. You always go with the same patterns. You can't break them. Yeah, because for your brain, this is already one piece, and you cannot split it. So reverse it, being able to take a transition and split it in smaller movements is as important as to put them together. Because if you don't understand why some part of the transition doesn't look smooth, you need to break it down on pieces and see which part of this transition doesn't actually feel smooth, where you, for example, don't understand where the weight is going, or like what part of your body you need to engage, yeah, or like how to make the leg movement bigger, why it doesn't go that big. So you need to be able to break down. And also, when you want to create, we are going to do it on the next class, but it's important to understand the small pieces of big transition, because when you will create, you need to sometimes take apart the beginning of this transition, change the ending, take the ending from there, yeah, so you need to feel how to split the transitions and how to build them, how to fix the parts inside. And that's why when I teach sequences like this, I pay lots of attention to every single part of it. For example, when I just teach choreographies, ready choreography, you know, like for particular song, I don't have time to explain you everything about this transition, you know, what it consists of and all the things, because we need to learn the choreography. So I already give you the final result, explain you the technique, and it also very good. But here the difference, yeah, that we focus not on learning choreo, we focus on understanding the philosophy of the movement, so you can actually teach your own body and your own brain to use these movements to create your own transitions, to make your own choreographies, to work by yourself and being able to make the same movement look different, because you not only know how to do the transition, but you also know all these details. Do you understand? I hope you guys understand. I can't ask you now, but I hope you say, yes, Kira, we understand. Yeah, and so that's why when I teach, for example, in my course, when I teach sequences like this is a very small piece, but in the course, for example, I do 10 choreographies like this, and we start from very, very simple choreo, yeah, and every next choreography is a little bit harder, and it's the same way like here, we have some of the movements that are kind of similar, but another direction, another hand or level, or like another variation, so you're like, ah, okay, I cannot do it like this, but I can also do it like this, and I can finish it like this, I can reverse it, so you start like understanding more, yeah, and that's why every single choreo takes like sometimes up to 2-3 hours, yeah, because we go deeply into details and you slowly understand how to like connect your brain and your body, and how to create by yourself later, okay? So that's why I explain it like this. Let's put it together. And okay, let me I want to start from the beginning. We go very slow, yeah, and then we're gonna go a little faster to feel more of this smooth transitions, okay? So we go right, left, right into the wave, left step, hips on the right, hips on the left, turn, start sitting down, open from your ear, knee down, engage your shoulder, right step, left step, hips to the front, point your toes, raise up, I bend my knee, yeah, and I start sliding the left leg, going to the left armpit, opening the right knee, left leg goes around, and then I pull up, open the left knee through the platform, right leg slides around, from the left ear I do the circle, circle the leg, bend it, hips first to the left, then fully go to the back, both hips down, and to the right. Okay, and now I want you to see that when I start putting this transition, the second transition together, I don't stop in a butterfly, but what I do, I make a circle of my left leg around the right leg. Okay, so what I showed you in the beginning, yeah, because now I'm like complicating the move, I'm making it a little harder. Yeah, so what I showed you in the beginning, that we turn, okay, we slide, we turn and bend, and then we open the butterfly, and then we step. Yeah, but if we connect it, yeah, if we make one transition out of it, we're gonna feel this. Yeah, I bend my knee and I send my weight forward. Yeah, I start turning, and now don't change much. Your body is still doing the same, but the left leg is drawing a circle around the right leg. Okay, so I go into my armpits and go down, and the left leg circle, 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 boom. Yeah, so I did all the same with my body, turning around myself and gently going down into this diagonal to the right side, but my left leg was drawing a circle, and so the transition looked very smooth. Okay, if you were a little more beginner, it might be too confusing at the moment, so try first the variation I showed you in the beginning, slide, turn, butterfly, step. Yeah, but if you're more advanced, try to put it together, and when you do it, make sure you don't stop anywhere. Yeah, so let's do the same thing like we did in the previous transition. Where is your weight? So I send my weight to the right leg, I turn, and I start twisting. So all the weight now on the right leg. And when I start sliding the left leg, yeah, I start falling towards the pole. So my weight from the right leg goes more to the pole. Now here, I'm fully hanging on my arms. Yeah, I have a little bit of weight on my legs, and you see where my left leg now. It's not here anymore because I draw the circle. I try to not put them together, but I want to have distance. Yeah, so it's soft. Yeah, and it goes in a circle here. So I start falling to the pole, slide here. You see the leg is behind. I'm on my armpit. I engage my shoulders a lot. From this shape, I start opening the right leg. Left leg keeps sliding. All the weight is on my arms to the knee. Yeah, and so now I am hanging on my arms and I'm having the weight on my right knee. This leg doesn't have any weight until this moment. Now when I pull myself up, I still have the weight here, and I start lifting, shifting my weight to the left, and especially when I incline, and here, fully on the knee. But remember I told you that my ear stays here. I don't want my weight fully on the knee, yeah, because I want to not stop my rotation, but I want to keep going. So I keep my weight shared between the leg and the hands, and I'm here hanging. And then I use the swing, boom, to create the momentum. And if I will not have my head and my body inclined here, if I will be here and swing my leg, nothing will happen. I will not turn around the pole. To be able to turn around the pole, I need to be hanging on my arms. So when I swing here, you see my body is inclined. Yeah, my ear stays down. And from this shape, I start bending my knee. And look, I sit on the left hip. So I don't go here straight away. It's very awkward. But I sit on my hip, on my heel by bending this knee. And then I lower my right knee by bringing my shoulders backwards, both hips down. And then I go to the right. And just to finish up this, this move, yeah, we're going to shift our weight to the right, a little bit opening the left foot, pulling ourselves up. You see, hips are going up, and I open the knee. Use my hands to open another knee, and then I'm going to lift my hips, doing a circle with the hips. Left, right. Yeah? Left, right. Okay. So, what we do here? We do like circles, yeah, like figure 8, shifting our hips. We do wave, step, turn, butterfly, steps, wave, turn, plie, butterfly, slide. We also do actually slide in this transition. And we do another plie and circle. So if I count all the moves, remember I told you we have 7 basic moves, and this is what we do. Yeah, steps, slides, periods, butterflies, plies and circles and waves. Yeah, so basically we do all the fundamental moves here, and we create a nice choreo just putting basic moves together. But here I show you how very basic moves can become a very nice transition. Okay, let's just put it together. behind the paw, point your toes, soft legs. Right, left, change the hands right into the wave, step, turn, sit, open, step, step, wave up to the right, slide around to the left armpit, step, pull up, slide ear to the left, through the platform, left knee, keep sliding around, bend the knee, hips to the left, shoulders back, right, wave to the right, slide a little bit the foot, and open, pull up and push, open another foot, point your toes, hips left and up. When I do the last move, when I bring my hips to the left, I drop my ear to the right, extending the leg, and then I extend another leg, and my left ear goes up. So, boom, boom. Head goes to the opposite side from the hips. Okay, a little bit slower, the sliding part. Right, left, right, wave, step, turn, sit, open through the platform to the knee, shoulders to the left, right step, not far away, left step. Yeah, if it's too hard, hips to the back and up. You can shift your weight on straight leg here. Yeah, don't take your hand high, stay low. Start turning, bend, soft legs, engage your body. Yeah, or keep this leg bent, already start like falling into this turn. Slide your left leg around to the armpit, keep sliding your left leg, open your right knee through the platform, keep sliding the left leg to the front. Pull up through the platform to the knee, slide your leg ear down, extend the leg, incline your body, keep turning, 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 turning until you hit the paw. Bend the leg, sit down. You see my body is inclined. Keep drawing the circle. Go to the right, change your hands. Open the foot a little, pull up and open the knee. Take the paw, pull up and push. Open another knee, hip, head, and up. Okay. One last time, a little faster. So, right, left, wave, step, turn, down, knee, step, step, up, and right, slide around, left armpit, right knee, left leg, up, around, bend, circle, change hands, open, open, hips up. Okay, so of course it takes longer time to make it as smooth and as big as I show you, but I know it works because I already have like so many students who followed this program. And I remember I had one student and she came, she was more doing tricks and she really liked hard style, and she said, I know that flow is not my thing, like this smooth transitions, my body just can't do it, but I just want to try, but basically I want to know what to do in between my tricks. I said, okay, we will do it. And then, so she did choreo 1. Yeah, she was more like stiff and doing moves separately. She honestly, the flow was super hard for her. Choreo 2, choreo 3, 4, 5, and she was really, hard-working student, so she would do everything I said. She was really obedient. She was like, okay, I follow you, I trust you, I just know that flow is not my thing, but I'll try. And somewhere like in the middle of the course, I see big difference, but I'm like, okay, we're doing it. And then in the end of the course, she told me, like, I don't know how it happened, but it feels like my body is made to do flow. And not only she learned to do these smooth transitions, but what was very precious for me that she said that she's like, I don't even understand now why it was so hard to create choreos before, because now it feels like my body is just doing it by itself. I was like, now I'm saying it and I'm having goosebumps. I was so touched by it, and it just means so much for me, because honestly, when you do it, now we did it like, I don't know, maybe another like half an hour or an hour, I don't know. Yeah, but imagine you're doing it like one time, another time, another time, and every time you go that deep into details, yeah? And so maybe at the moment you could understand like 30% of what I was explaining, yeah? So imagine you're doing it one more time, another choreography, yeah, because it's boring to kind of keep doing the same lesson all the time. Obviously, if you repeat it, you will get more and more out of it. But if you're just like keep doing the same thing, it's, you know, it's kind of hard for us because we like to have fun. So you do one class, another class, you understand 40%. Another class, you understand 50%. And you know, so every time you keep doing kind of different transitions, but paying attention to the same details, where's your weight, how you pull or push, how you incline, or like how you open through the platform, put your knee, and in the same time your body goes a little bit around the pole, and you open your back. And so every time you hear it, and every single time you practice, you can catch and apply a little bit more, and next time a little bit more. And then believe me, if you do it with me like 10 times, then you will feel this moment of, you know, when something just clicks in your mind and you're like, I got it. Yeah, so this is how it works for dozens of my students in this course, and like thousands of my offline students already. And that's why I'm so confident in saying it, because I know exactly how it happens. That's why I go so deeply into details, and you might think like really? But also that is why when I dance, it looks like this. Yeah, because the secret of this, like the technique, the approach that I use, is that I am saying, I am articulating almost everything. Yeah, like I try to say everything, or just so much of what my body is doing. I say everything, but not in the same time. But in the class, literally, when I do something, I say everything what my body is doing. I don't just say step, wave, turn, sit. Yeah, because if I just teach you the sequence, you're gonna do, okay, head, wave, step, turn and sit, butterfly, step, step, wave, turn, butterfly, step, slide, sit, step, step, circle. Same moves, right? But because I do all the things that I was saying all the previous hour, it feels like an hour, yeah, that is why when I dance it looks like this. And the more you pay attention to these details, the more you guys going to improve your execution and build this deep connection between your brain and your body. So you will start understanding, okay, if I need to make a smooth transition, a big swing, big slide. What means big slide? when she says big, what it means? It means that I need to incline my body going from the ear, pull up, and slide the leg, keeping this inclined line, pulling up on my arm, yeah, and then bend, and then, you know, all the things, yeah? So when you will next time think big, for you, big will mean ta 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 ta, not just big. Okay, what the hell is big? Yeah, do you understand what I mean? Yes, Kira, we understand. Oh my God, you guys are so smart. Yeah, I like talking to myself. And this was a pretty small sequence, yeah, but and again, as you see, I repeat some of the moves showing you the variations. So this is how it works when learning sequences, and how from simple elements we combine them into transitions. Yeah, so in the first lesson we learned how to work with elements, how to make them look beautiful. In this lesson we've learned how to connect them, and how combining simple elements we create nice flow, nice sequence, yeah, flow sequence. And then in the next lesson I will teach you how we can upgrade the moves to make the sequence harder, more difficult, more complex, and how to put the sequence into the music, how to decorate it with either more complex elements or some details, some hands or head, or like some isolation or some other moves. I will give you a few techniques. So we'll take these elements to the next level. So that will more work on musicality and complexity. Okay, guys? So if you are interested in learning that stuff, you're gonna follow the next video.
All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. And now let me introduce you my course, EXOBASE. At the moment, enrollment is closed, but you can join the waitlist. Let me tell you how the course builds, how I see style evolving. In my method, there are two parts of the style: technique and musicality, and each of them also includes two parts. So in technique we work on lines and transitions. So lines is exactly your basic elements, how to make each movement look beautiful. Then transitions is what happens in between the elements, so how we put the elements together. Let's say basic elements are the words, so we need to learn the words to be able to speak, and then we need to put them together into sentences. And then musicality, I also split into rhythm and emotional expression. So rhythm is how we put the movement into the music with pauses, how we speed up and slow down, how we make some movements bigger and smaller so the sentence makes more sense. And then emotional expression is actually how we read the sentence, how our voice goes up or down. Do we want to be loud, or we want to be quiet, or maybe we want to whisper? Yeah, how we want to point out some of the words. Yeah, so this is our tone of voice. And in your opinion, which element is the most important? This is me waiting for you replying. So actually none of them is most important. All of them are crucially important, because if we don't know the elements, it doesn't matter how beautifully we read them, yeah, how expressively we dance, but it's going to still look messy and chaotic, even if the emotional part is great. And the same if we if we know lots of elements, we make them beautiful. Yeah, we know the transitions. Everything is smooth, big, seamless, connected. I mean, the movements connected to each other. But if we don't have any expression, it's just kind of empty. So both of the parts are important. And for some people, it's easier to work on technique. For some people, it's easier to work on musicality. And usually we think that the most important part is the one that we are lacking. Yeah, and I remember for me it was easier to express emotions. I always had lots of ideas, but my movement quality was so bad. Like I just didn't have technique to express all my creative ideas. And when I imagine, like, I love the song, I imagine how beautifully I will dance to it, I have this incredible idea, and then when I try to do it, it just doesn't look good because the technique is missing. So, you know, it's like when you try to cook a dish from a restaurant and you know the ingredients, but when you cook it, it just doesn't look and doesn't taste the same. Yeah, because you just don't know how to make it. Same works, yeah, like for technique. Many people feel like, yeah, they already know lots of moves, they already can do lots of elements and do them beautifully, but the expressive part is missing, and then it's just impossible to create their own choreographies. Same works with musicality, because for many people the problem is different. For example, they already know lots of moves, they can make them beautiful, but when they try to work with music, it feels like they're just doing the same movements, they just change the music, but the dancing doesn't really change. Yeah, or maybe inside you feel like, oh my god, this song is so beautiful and I really want to express it, I have this story, but then when you try to express, you have like poker face and your body is just like not feeling, not showing, not conveying anything. And this is not a gift, this is also a skill that can be learned. So all of these elements actually we can develop, we can learn, and by putting them together we can build our own style. And my methodology is based on this schema, and each element corresponds to a specific model. So let's go through the models of the course. The first model of the course is Exotic Basics. This is where we work on fundamentals of exotic pole dance. So we take all the basic elements, steps, slides, pirouettes, waves, circles, plies, and butterflies, and work deeply on the technique of each element and on their variations. Not just learning a wave, but how each part of the body, how each muscle of the body is engaged into this element. What we need to tense, incline, relax, engage, rotate, twist, to make each movement look a certain way, and to make the variations. So how it feels in our body when we do a bigger or smaller movement, when we do different variations, what exactly in our body is engaged. So here we build a very deep connection with our body, that our body knows what exactly it needs to do to make the movement look a certain way. And this is how we actually work on beautiful lines, because lines is not only pointing toes and extending knees, but this is how every single part of our body is engaged to create these lines. Yeah, and this is the whole body. The whole body is involved. And the secret here is not just to know the base of the movement, but to know how every single variation of it feels. And also in this module, we have a lesson of upgrading movements. So we take these basic elements and we put some more advanced techniques on the top of these elements to make each element expressive in a certain way. So we start working on expressive part already on the first step on doing fundamentals. This model is a gold, and even my advanced students love it, and they say that this changed everything for them. And even though it's kind of so basic, so simple, everyone knows it, but yeah, everyone knows it, but no one really does it. The deeper we work on simple things, the more we really connect to our body. And this is how we build the confidence that we don't have to think all the time, but we can focus on expressive part, because we can trust our body that our body will do the moves truly beautiful. This model in total has around 12 hours of videos. Model 2, choreographies. In this model, we learn to create transitions, to do that flow. But we learn it by doing choreographies. In this model, we have 10 choreographies, and we start from a very simple one, and we increase the level of difficulty with every single choreo. But these choreos are not focused on learning the sequence, but we focus on what happens in between the elements, on connecting the movements, that we create the seamless transitions. We learn the techniques of weight shifting, again understanding how each part of the body is engaged into the process. So you don't have element, 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 but you connect those elements, that a set of elements becomes a transition. And this is a very different kind of work, because usually when you learn choreography in the class, the goal of the class is to dance the choreo in the end. So you basically focus on learning elements, but not on learning the transitions. And that's why most of the people really miss that flow. And I'm sure you saw it many times when people actually have beautiful lines, when everything looks beautiful but separated from each other. And the same how we put the words together, same we learn to put the moves together, how we start the next movement by using the momentum of the previous one. And all of it we do using specific techniques. And so each choreography is dedicated to some transitions, to some skills. And then, as I said, every next choreo is a little harder. So the last one already has a really advanced level. What is very important, you can't learn flow by just increasing the difficulty of transition. So it doesn't matter how many new cool transitions you will learn if you don't understand the technique of weight shifting. And this is what we start on simple elements. That's why in this model we go from kind of simple transitions, and every time I explain more and more and more details of the techniques, and you understand deeper what is it to do flow. This model in total has 24 hours of videos. Yes, I know 10 choreographies, 24 hours, it's like almost 2.5 hours for each choreo. Yes, but believe me, it's worth it, because this is how you learn to create the magic of flow. Model 3, musicality and style. This model is my personal invention. When I created this course, I was thinking, how can I explain, how can I teach the skill of musicality? Because usually when we teach choreography, we show the final result to the students, but we don't explain how to create the choreo. And so when I invented this method, I was really proud of, of myself. And then my students say that in this model, you can really go inside of Kira's head. This is what they say. So what do we do here? We take each of the choreos that we learn in the model 2 in choreographies. So we take that choreo and we put it into the music and we start playing with it, upgrading the movement using specific techniques. We improve it technically, emotionally, so we apply certain exercises, and in the end we change the original sequence, we upgrade it, we change it accordingly to the music. And I show all my techniques through 10 different choreographies. We focus on different things, so you can do it with me. You watch how I do it, like everything I do, every single step, you watch me doing it, and you can do it by yourself. So this is how you basically watch me cooking a dish. You don't see the final result, but you see the final result in the end, but you see how exactly I make it. We start from the original, from the basic sequence, and then in front of your eyes, I show you how exactly I apply specific techniques to make, in the end, the choreo that we actually make together. And then your part, your homework is to do it by yourself to your music using the techniques and the exercises that I offer. And each choreo, we focus on different things, somewhere more technical things, somewhere more emotional things, somewhere we work more on beats and details, and somewhere we connect more to the music. Also, I choose different styles of music so we can learn to express different emotions and to work in different styles. So in the end, by doing 10 choreographies like this with me, believe me, you will learn how to work on your own choreographies and how to work with music by yourself. Model 4, technique upgrades. I love this model. This is how I create. If you ever hit this problem that all the moves look so boring and repetitive, and you don't understand how to create interesting transitions, you always search for some interesting transitions and things in Instagram, always scroll video screens, save lots of videos, and you have no idea how to create them by yourself, this model is for you. Because here I show you, I don't just teach you interesting transitions, but I also teach you how to create them, how to invent them. So we take different simple elements and I show you which techniques you need to apply to play with those elements, to create harder versions, and you can take it as advanced as you want. So we start from simple things and we start upgrading them, making them harder, and harder. And then also I teach you how to put those elements into combos, and not just combining them together, but how by combining them and applying more techniques on the top, you can make really cool and interesting transitions, by putting those elements together. This is a really useful skill. I call it research sessions, where you learn to invent your own combos, your own transitions. And this is equally helpful for choreographies, because you can use those combos that you create, those transitions that you create, you can use them for choreographies, and also you use them in your freestyle. So if you love freestyling, or if you want to learn freestyling and really struggle with this, you will really love this model, because this is how you expand your dance vocabulary and break your old patterns, you know, when you always move the same way. But here you actually learn to have so many variations that you will be able to create them here in your mind by combining things. And you will learn to trust your body, that your body will, you know, you probably heard it from some advanced dancers, my body wants to go there. So you will be able to feel it when your body will actually suggest you some interesting variations. Believe me, this is so much fun. This is where you feel like you really create, you invent, you discover something new. So what I say usually, I don't give you the fish, but I teach you fishing. This model includes around 5 hours, probably already more, of the lessons with different interesting transitions and how to create them. And the next step of the course is the workshop, The Art of Choreographing. In this workshop, I teach you how to create choreographies from zero scratch. I have 2 approaches of creating choreos, and I teach both of them in the course. So in this workshop, I put everything, all the knowledge that you learn by doing the previous steps, the previous models. So here I summarize them and I put them into the roadmap. So you see exactly the plan, what you need to do to create a choreo, all the aspects you need to cover, all the technical and emotional skills and particular steps, that you need to do to create a choreography. Now let me tell you what else is included into the course. 2 feedback sessions with me. On these sessions, I give you a very detailed feedback on your dancing skills, on your choreographing skills, on your musicality and emotional expression, what you already have, what would be great to focus on right now. What are the key points for you right now that you will fix, that you will improve, that will help you to really improve your skills like much faster, because there's so many things to work on, but I will point out this particular things that will help you to accelerate your transformation right now. And the second session will be the session to finalize, to summarize all the work on the course that you've done, and to check your final homework, which will be creating your own choreography. And as well, I will point out some next key points, next things that you need to focus on to develop, to continue building your own style and growing even faster. Also, we have a feedback from curators. I have a beautiful team of instructors. All of them were my students before and know perfectly well how my method works. You will be able to receive a feedback from them on your work, so you don't just follow the steps of the course, but you also can get the feedback right away and do the improvement faster. And that's not all. We also have some really nice bonuses in the course. And the first one is conditioning model. In this model, we have a set of classes that my students really love. Everything you need to complement your pole dance practice without pole. because not always we have the access to the pole. Sometimes we just can train at home. So this model includes different kinds of warm-up, including the dancing warm-up that my students love. Then stretching classes, fitness classes, exercises for shoulders, for toes, and the class that I really recommend every single dancer in the world do is my handwork class. Because if you ever felt like your hands, like a T-Rex hands or a dead wing, they're just there and you never know what to do with your arms while dancing, this class is perfect for you because I give all the exercises, all the possible movements that your arms can do. This is a 50 minutes class for your hands that you will never have this problem anymore. And so this model, again, all classes are non-pole classes, so you can even do them at home. The next bonus is a lessons with nutritionist and psychologist. We demand a lot from our body, and I think that our body and mind really need a support. I personally do it to myself, and this is why I offer it to my students, because everything you see in the course is exactly how I train. And yes, I do work with a nutritionist to help my body to recover, and I work with psychologists because yes, we do have some psychological barriers, and for different people they're different. Maybe you are afraid to express emotions when you dance. Maybe you don't feel very confident when you dance. Maybe you're afraid to perform or don't feel comfortable in front of your students, and lots of different things. Maybe you're afraid posting your videos, and all of it have lots of reasons in your head. But believe me, I know all of these problems because I had them and I overcame them, all of these fears, and I really want to help my students to do so. And one more bonus that I have in the course is a class about emotional expressiveness. So see, in this class I share my method and my exercises to connect with the music emotionally, to express emotions both through our body and through our face. Because if you ever felt like you really feel so many emotions when you listen to the song, but when you dance, your face just like a poker face and your body is just really frozen, I know how to help you. I have particular method to work with it, and I will share it in this class. Also, I will share the techniques of storytelling and composition of dance. The next bonus that I added into the course recently is a lesson, competition mindset. My students ask me about it because I've competed a lot. I competed for many years and I'm a 4-time international pole dance champion. I have a big experience in competitions and I have a lot to share. So in this lesson I share everything. How to prepare for the competition, how to live through the day of the competition, how to pick the right strategy, and all the fears and all the struggles and all the decisions you will need to make during the competition, all the emotional support that you will ever need. Yeah, all of this I share in this lesson, and I will tell you that my students really love it, and many of my students win competitions or get placed and find this lesson very helpful. Another new addition to the course is a lesson from a guest instructor, Ilya Med, Fundamentals of the Hardstyle. I love the hardstyle, I really love it, but my specifics is a flow style, and I decided that I really want Ilya to share his experience. He's my dear friend and a great teacher, an amazing artist that is equally great in flow, in hardstyle, and in experimental, and he knows exactly the specifics of the hardstyle. So I decided that I really want him to share this knowledge with my students, and students really love it. So if you guys want to explore not only flow but also the hardstyle, you will love this lesson. And one more new bonus that I added into the course, again because my students ask it, is another lesson from a guest instructor, Yelena Chernashova. This lesson is about freedom of a freestyle. Yelena is a true master of a freestyle. Every time I watch her dancing, it's just unbelievable how she comes up with great, interesting transitions right on the spot. She can easily dance a few songs in a row, never stop doing lots of things, never repeating herself. And I find this skill truly amazing and unique. And yes, I am going to share my methods of freestyle as well, but I couldn't resist offering this knowledge from Yelena to my students. So if you guys are interested in developing your freestyle, you will really love this lesson. EXO-based course is equally great for beginner, intermediate level dancers and for advanced level dancers, and I have a few different packages depending on the level and depending on what you want to focus on. But I built this program that it really fits to the students with even zero experience and to the students who is already very advanced. So some of my students come to me being already advanced dancers, traveling teachers who has their name already, but they find this program very useful so they can work on specific things and become even greater. And in the same time, beginners can build a very strong fundamentals, very strong connection with their body, and finally enjoy dancing their beautiful choreographies. Okay, so to register, you can simply click the button below this video. And as a thank you for watching this video, you guys will receive an extra 3 days of access to the current EXOSTYLE course when you join the waitlist. Yeah, so if you join the waitlist to the EXO base, to the big course, you will get extra 3 days of access to this mini course EXOSTYLE. All you need to do is to click the button and register. The access to this extra 3 days for the mini course will be granted to you by the managers, so make sure that you reply them. And now let's move on to the next lesson, where we're going to dive into musicality and expression.